This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
Hey, my cat-loving friends, it's Linda Hall, your co-host with 19 Cats and Counting. How do you know when your cat's sick? Does your cat need more activity? What does your cat do all day while you're gone? Surprisingly enough, someone has sought to help us with the answers to the questions. Today, we have Ali Ganjavian, I hope I said his last name right, with us, who is the CEO of Moggie.me, Moggie. You are going to want to stick around for this because you are going to be amazed. We'll be right back after this word from our amazing sponsor.
Linda, I love my cats, but I am so tired of lugging around those heavy boxes of litter.
And scooping every day, twice a day, on your knees. So what is the answer?
Well, I've heard of this new company called Kitty Poo Club. Do you know about them?
I have actually heard about them. They send you boxes to your home, so no hauling litter. The litter's in there. The boxes are recyclable. And they say one box should last one cat for an entire month.
That's great, but what is the litter like? What if my cats don't like the type they send you?
You can choose your type. We know we've got clients that are diehard clay and clients that are more, working toward environmental friendliness.
Of course.
They have different kinds you can choose from and even different size boxes.
You mean they've got one big enough for my 19-pound cat peanut butter?
Peanut butter. Yes, they have an XL box just for peanut butter.
Woohoo. He really needs that. He's got a big batucus. So how much does this cost?
If you get on their auto ship program, number one, you don't have to remember to buy anything. No more opening the cabinet and saying, we're out of litter.
Oh, I do that a lot.
But they will give you your first shipment at 25% off if you use the code 19cats. And shipping is free.
Oh, I love free shipping. Sign me up.
Too. Yeah, no kidding. Just go to kittypooclub.com. Don't forget the code 19cats and get on it. I think this is going to be great. I especially want to sign my elderly parents up. This is going to be awesome for them.
I'm heading to that website right now. Thank you.
Me too. Catch you later. Bye.
Bye.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Hello, my cat-loving friends. Welcome back to 19 Cats and Counting. You are here with your co-host, Linda Hall, and I am looking at the ever-lovely, gorgeous, blonde bombshell, Rita Reimers.
It's getting wine, but I'm here with my Dexter cat.
He wants to hear about
this. My sidekick
this.
These days.
Yes. He wants to hear about this.
He wants to hear about this, too. I'm so excited about this because we have a lot of clients that say, should I take my cat to the vet? My answer is always, if you're asking the question, then yes. But it would be nice to be able to go to the vet and know what symptoms are really happening in your cat.
Exactly. Yes. And be able
talk to Ali about
what's up. Yes.
Mookie.
So welcome, Ali. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for having me. It's great to be here.
Yes. All the way from London with that great accent. We love a British accent.
We have a lot of clients in London. We have to go.
We do. Yes, we do. We need to make the visit. So tell us about this invention because our minds are blown.
Okay, so I think you kind of touched on some of these points, Linda. You were saying, when do you know how to take your cat to the vet? How's your cat feeling? And the cats are incredibly good at hiding illnesses, right? They don't exhibit, when they're not feeling well, and typically they disappear when they're not feeling well. And the question we asked ourselves is, how can we discover how cats are feeling? Because there's nothing worse than thinking that your cat's in pain, but you have absolutely no idea. We discovered that actually 80% of cat illnesses are revealed in changes in physical behavior. So ultimately, what does this mean? It's like, if I start behaving differently, it means that we can start recognizing these different patterns. And even the best cat parent can't recognize those changes. And so because there's very small changes. Let me just give an example. Your cat could start jumping less and less progressively over weeks or over months, but you might not recognize that. So that's where we come. And that's what we said, how can we address this challenge and how can we start tracking these changes in behavior to create something that helps us gain insights into changes into cats' health?
I love what you said about the jumping, because arthritis starts to set in around age 10. Is that right, Linda?
Yeah, according to something I read a while ago, 95% of cats age 10 that they looked at had arthritis in some degree. That's a lot. And, Rita has probably 10 of her 15.
I have 10 of mine are 10 and above. Yeah.
Yes. And I have quite a few myself. And it's like, oh no, they could be in pain. And it is, we do say that about the jumping. We had a client recently that we were saying there may be some pain going on. And all of a sudden she's like, oh, he's been staying more on the first floor. He hasn't been jumping up on the cat tree like he used to be. You hit it on the head.
Yeah,
you don't notice it until someone says, hey, think about it. So this is tracking it. What else? Because I saw a screenshot where there was a timer and it said, hey, Mom, I need some activity or something along those lines.
I love this.
So, yes.
Yes. So there's a health aspect, right? Which is the insightful aspect. So how do we track the physical health and translate that into insight? So let me just ground the health side of things. So let's just say my cat is jumping progressively less and less. So I can recognize that and I can track that. So how do we capture that? And how do we present that insight to, a cat parent? That's one thing. And we're talking about jumping, sleeping, resting, eating, litter use, grooming, playing. So we're talking about a series of activities which are critical to the health of a cat. So how do we track those and how do we present them to the cat parent in a scientific way, but also in an easy, accessible way to digest? Very similar to how you would with a Fitbit or how you would with an Apple Watch, right? Because ultimately you want to be able to understand this. We're not vets, so we're not like going, hold on.
Right. Don't put it in scientific mumbo jumbo that we can't. Yeah. I'm going to break this down.
Does the device take a baseline on the cat so then it could know when things are changing?
Spot on. Exactly. That's exactly what it does. So it creates a baseline on your cat. And based on those baseline, it tells you about deviations like, hey, have not been playing as much as usual. And play is a wonderful one because I, as a cat parent, can action that. So, okay, I'll go home and play with my cat. But jumping is one that I can't action, or I can't, encourage it to eat more. Well, maybe I can provide, depending on what you put in front of him. But ultimately, there's certain things you can't change. But the ones you can action. And it's really kind of encouraging us as pet parents to do that. But the ones that we can't action is saying, here's some insights for when I do talk to my televet or when I do go into my vet and saying, when the vet says, what has your cat been doing? You're like, sleeping more than usual. Well, you no longer need to say that. You're like, hold on a second. Here's a PDF of what it's been doing for the last weeks, for the last months, and you can have a look at it. You can have a deep dive into your cat's health, as well as all of their history. So they have a real window into their world. But that's just the glimpse. That's just the health side. When it gets really exciting as well, that ultimately our relationship with our cats is not a scientific one. It's not a health-driven one. We want to be responsible parents and we want to be empowered with information, and that's why this is useful. But ultimately, we want to be able to enable our unique relationship with our cats, and the way we do that is through natural language. So I guess everyone's familiar with GPT-3 and how we can create natural language through in text mode. What we've done is translate some of those health insights into very simple, digestible messages. Like, for example, if the data says Benjamin's been playing all night, so the data says, hey, 2 hours of play at 2 o'clock in the morning. We translate that into natural language, and Benjamin sends you a message saying, been out playing for the last 2 hours, had lots of fun. What have you been doing?
I love that. So cute. I'm dying to get this. Well, and I'm thinking, I got 12 cats. One of my cats is FIV positive. I love him so much and I worry about him. Any other cat sneezes, I yell out, hey, go away, sneeze. You guys keep an eye on it. Let me know if that Kismet sneezes. Doctor.
Yeah, more serious when there's an underlying condition.
Yes. And as he starts not feeling well and he gets these flare-ups, he hides. He hides in the kitchen cupboards often. I've had to baby proof them. And then all of a sudden I see him and go, oh, he got thinner and something's wrong. How cool if an app would send me a message and say, Kismet is hiding more, Kismet is sleeping more, Kismet's slowing down again, because I have ways I can address that and boost his immunity again and get him back. But often by the time I figure it out, he's really lost some weight and I'm breaking inside. So this is definitely a Kismet must for me. Definitely. And the older
It's
ones.
about getting it. It's about getting it early, right? It's about recognizing that early. It's just getting it, front and center before it gets too late. Because we know when it gets too late, there's typically a really hard road back. So just having this front and center.
I will tell you, we had a cat sitter. Rita used to own a cat sitting business, and I worked with her. We had a cat sitter call me one day and said, there's just something about this cat. It was acting funny. And I said,
remember
use your
this.
judgment. And she called me back when she came for her next visit. And she said, he's really touchy around the rump, but maybe he's just a cat that's touchy around. I don't know. And I said, look, if it's bothering you this much, call the vet. Turned out this cat had a history of constipation, hadn't pooped in heaven knows how long, and was a hair's breadth from turning septic. Your app would have told us that the cat hadn't pooped in 3 days.
Oh,
That
wow.
could save a life so quickly.
Yes, it could.
I've
Same with
chills.
peeing when they get the urinary blockages, if nothing's passing. Your
Exactly.
app will know he hasn't been in the litter box, right?
We kept saying, any other sitter probably wouldn't have called or thought anything about it. Or if they hadn't left him with somebody, or, it would have been so easy because the cat was not crying and carrying on. He was just
Yes.
acting what she felt was off. And, and we always err on the side of caution. But
Sure.
that pet parent could have known days earlier that her cat was not going and saved the expensive vet bill by giving him something to get him moving again and all of the panic and everything that happened. Oh my goodness. What other benefits are we missing here?
So I think one of the other benefits, and I think you can probably, we mentioned the vet quite a few times, and we know how challenging it can be to take our cats to the vet. And some cats, some cats who have been trained, yes, they manage that better, but it is, change is exhausting, it's stressful. And it's not only just stressful to go, it's also when they come back, they still exhibit high levels of stress. So the opportunity that we have here is that because we have that data, televet can actually use that data really effectively because they have a window into their activity. Of course, there's things that you need to diagnose physically, and you can't, I've got a sore leg or physically unwell. But there's things which, you could save yourself to the visit to the vet because you'll be able to do some, pre-diagnosis. Say, hey, actually, this is actually perfectly normal this time of the year for a cat of its age, and don't worry about it. Oh, peace of mind. Versus, shall I, shan't I? Shall I, shan't I? Shall I get that vet to come home, which is so expensive, or what do I do? And that anxiety for us is also, kind of like, hold on, have some information. I can action it with the televet, or if I need to take a following step, I can. So I think this is an important step for us because ultimately it's not only about having the information, it's about how to action that information.
Yes. Well, and just like the client whose cat had chronic constipation and probably should have told us, we talked to many clients who say their cat has a history of crystals, UTIs, etc. And so they're kind of freaking out, trying to watch and see if there's a problem. Solution right there. Monitor it without having to run your cat to the vet, take a urine, keep checking it. We hear people, oh yeah, he hasn't been checked in about 3 months. We should probably take him to be checked. You're going to give us a heads up. Now, I'm not going to get a message from my cat that says, hey, mom, I have arthritis, right? Like it's not going to diagnose my cat.
Exactly. And we're really trying to avoid being a diagnosis tool because we're not a diagnosis tool, we're an insight tool. So we just create that little bit of a window into their world of what they've been doing, not how they're feeling, not what they have, but what have they been doing? And if there's been any deviations in what they've been doing based on those means, that mean average information, then, hey, what's going on? They're way more active than usual. Are they stressed?
Oh, spraying cats.
Yes.
That, they would know that they were really pacing and really active and seeing the ferals outside. I'm just thinking of so many places in our behavior business where it's like, okay, go to Moggie.
I'm thinking about the older cats too. They're getting older. They're sleeping more. But are they sleeping more because there's something going on or just because they're getting older?
I know we got to take a break, so I'll let you, but I got questions.
We'll be right back after talking to our wonderful sponsor.
How many of you have pets? My hand's raised. Now think about how lucky you are to have such a sweet little pet in your life, and that pet is lucky to have you too. But unfortunately, there are countless pets out there that don't have a home to call their own. However, Bob's from Skechers is trying to change that. So we developed Bob's for dogs and cats to help pets in need. With every purchase of adorable Bob's footwear or fun, stylish apparel, or even the cutest Bob's pet accessories, Skechers makes a donation to Petco Love to help save shelter pets. And with your help, we've already saved the lives of over 1 million pets and raised over $7 million. So while you're getting style and comfort with features like Skechers' famous memory foam cushioning, you're also helping to save an adorable pet in need and helping another lucky owner be connected with a future best friend and companion, because happiness is having a loving pet by your side. Find Bob's at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, select Petco locations, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Let's talk pets
Let's talk pets
on Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
And we are back with 19 Cats and Counting, and talking about the most awesome thing I've heard of is monitoring your cat's activity to see if there's something going on medically.
Yes, 100%. And I was thinking, Ali, you were saying that, it monitors changes in behavior, because that is our answer. Anytime someone says to me, how do I know if my cat is sick? I say, watch their behavior. Are they moving less? Are they sleeping more? Is your normally social cat hiding? Is your normally hidey cat coming to bother you? Are they talking more? Whatever. But we know people get busy, and I had 12 cats, and I try to make a mental note of, have I seen them all and paid attention to them all? But it's easy to miss stuff for anybody, even if you have 3 cats.
Even if you just got one, it's easy to miss because they hide their symptoms.
Yes. And a kid and a spouse and a job and a life. And yeah, it's easy to miss. So this is what we're telling people to track, this is going to do it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's also people we do go away for the weekend and we leave our cats at home. We also, some of us have 9-to-5 jobs and actually go away for the whole day and leave our cats at home. You would never do that with a dog. You never just leave them for the whole day at home and just hope everything's fine. And I don't know about you guys, but we worry about them. It's like, are they okay? What are they doing? And just being able to pick up the phone and connect to the device and say, hey, they're doing what they normally do, or they're sleeping, or they're resting, or they're playing. It just gives you a little bit of a window, and it doesn't have to be necessarily a camera into seeing exactly what they're doing at a given time. What are they doing? What have they just done? What have they just done for the last few hours? And that peace of mind, I think, is ultimately key in any relationship, any unique relationship.
Definitely. What made you think about creating this type of app, Ali? Do you have cats in your life?
Yes, I've had 14 cats in my life. I don't have one right now because my son is allergic to cats, unfortunately. But when we were little, we had a cat called Pashmak, and he passed away from one day to the other. The typical thing of not feeling well, suddenly passed away, and you hold on to that idea of family members passed, but you had no idea they were unwell, and how do you do something about it? And it's so simple, right? Because, I'm just holding up the wearable that sits around the cat's neck, which essentially tracks their physical movement. Doesn't track their location, tracks their physical movement. And when you discover that, by translating 80% of illnesses are exhibited through changes in physical behavior, when you understand that and you kind of hold on to that, you're like, well, why aren't we just tracking their physical behavior, right? And ultimately, I think that eureka moment came to us and we started developing this technology to say, how can we make this lightweight with a long battery life? Because it has to be comfortable, right? Because you don't want to create something that burdens the cat.
And your cat will not accept and throw a fit over. Yes.
So this just attaches to their collar. Is that right?
Exactly. You attach it to their existing collar. So basically, you attach your wearable to the existing collar. It sits around their neck. It weighs the average weight of a postcard. It has a long battery life, and this basically transmits data to what I have is like a base station, like equivalent to an Amazon Echo. And the beauty of this is that it's basically doing this constantly over the course of the day. So it's constantly gathering data, sending it, gathering data, and you basically access it through your phone in a very simple, smart way. So you just access it like any other app. The app also offers you just other capacities. It offers you the health capacity and that window into the health, the messaging, which is much more of a notification. So you're getting that almost like a message sequence from one of your friends.
Cute.
But it also has a few other things like Like it introduces also how do you keep track of the things that your cat has done, their health history, like a record of all of their health, as well as some simple tips of things you can do. Yeah. So it's
That's
just being able to do.
amazing.
This is awesome.
Well, I'm thinking about when COVID hit and everybody had to stay home. Ali, you have no idea how many people reached out to us and said, "My cat's been sleeping all day. What's wrong with them?" And it's like, sweetie, they always sleep all day. Cats sleep like 18 hours a day. You were just at work before and you didn't see it. You just didn't know what your cat was doing. And we do also get a lot of people whose cats have separation anxiety. And they're like, I don't know what he's doing when I'm at work. Is he crying at the door? Well, this would be like, oh, he's playing. Oh, he was sleeping. It would bring me a lot of peace of mind, right?
That's what it's all about.
Exactly. Yes. The cat's okay. Everything's fine. No, world
So is
not ended.
this available for purchase yet? Or is it still in development?
So right now, it's sort of development is finalized, and it'll be available to purchase in spring. There is a wait list, so you can go to the website, which is moggie.me, and just go to the wait list. And we're growing this slowly but steadily. For us, it's really important to do this well with a small community of cat lovers. So if anyone's interested, they should go and sign up to the wait list, and get ready for our launch later on.
Well, there was a lot of good information on Moggie.me too. You had a few little things about, behaviors and some really good information. It's not just about the product.
I like
right?
this.
You're really covering the cats,
Tips to keep your cat happy and healthy. There's some nice blogs out here. Some good information about kitties.
There's some images. You can see what it'll look like when your text comes to your phone. So now if my cat texts me and says, Mom, I'm, sleeping a lot or whatever, can I text them back and say, time to wake up? Or, can we have a conversation?
That would be nice.
I would love to say yes to that, but unfortunately, not at this stage. We can't.
This is the next invention because we need this. This is the next invention.
I don't know, Linda. If the caller starts talking to the cat, he may jump up in the air.
Right? What? There's an author, Angie Bailey. She wrote a book, Texts from Mittens, and it's her cat texting her while she's at work, complaining that he got stuck in a cereal box or he's out of treats or whatever. And I'm like, this is what we need in life. So you're almost there. Okay. You're almost there.
One step closer.
Yeah.
One step closer.
Yes, exactly.
There's a feature of the app which I think you're both going to love. So the University of Melbourne did some research on different personality types of cats. I don't know if you're familiar with this. It's called the Feline 5. The Feline 5 is like different personality types like we do, as we have them as people. So the Feline 5 consists of 5 different personality types, from the most neurotic cat to a shy cat to a friendly cat. So we decided to build personality types into our product. So if you have 3 different cats and they have different personality types, the messages you're going to get are completely different.
Oh,
because we have a neurotic cat. So you have a neurotic cat going like, hey, really punchy, really cold. We have the friendly cat, which is more like, hey, much softer, much friendlier in the messages. Obviously not on the health tracking side of things.
I love this.
I love this. I'm obsessed.
When can I get one?
Can we? I was just going to say, now that we're friends, we can go in early, right, honey?
Exactly. We'll make sure you guys.
None of we have to decide. Linda's got 12. I have 15.
I just want one on Kismet.
First?
I just really want one on Kismet. I just really want it on Kismet. Yes, exactly. But yes, I'm like Veruca Salt over here. I want it now, Daddy. So yeah.
Can we join a wait list? How does this work?
Oh, I'm going to sign up on that. Yes. It says Moggie can help vets more quickly uncover up to 80% of illnesses that can be detected through subtle changes in activity, such as arthritis, diabetes, liver disease, and much more.
This is this is a must-have for every cat owner, I think.
Senior cats, once your cats get up there, diabetes, liver disease, thyroid,
kidney issues.
It's almost unavoidable. If you make it to a cat who's 20 that didn't get any of those, I want to talk to you because I just don't see it. It just is all over. And getting it quickly is the key, especially with liver disease. You get it quick enough, we can hold it off. It's not a problem. Don't get it quick enough and the damage has been done and we're in bad soup. So yeah, this is amazing. I think it would also tell me, gosh, if I had a cat sitter and it would tell me, he's hiding more, so he's nervous and I could give her ideas for luring him out. I'm just seeing a million places that this fits just the benefits. It's crazy. And the peace of mind.
Well, it will help the veterinarians too to diagnose properly because they'll have what is going on physically with the cat.
I have brought Kismet into the vet and said, I don't know. There's something. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I just feel like something's off with him. And then they've got to do all these tests. Could I bring in a PDF that says, well, he's been sleeping more. He's been eating a little less. He's been less active. He hasn't played in 2 days. That just cleared up a lot, right?
And it creates that perspective really quickly for the vet. I think sometimes I look at vets and I think like the heroes, right? Because they're trying to decipher with very little information and with limited diagnosis. And who wants to leave their pet in the vet overnight for no one. So being able to provide information early is
it can solve so much and give them more years to their life. And that's why losing cats is something we're all familiar with. And it's like the worst.
Unfortunately.
It's the bad part. And yeah, Rita, because we tend to take in ill and elderly cats, we figured out she'd lost 8 cats in 1 year's time. It's heartbreaking. And, trying to get all of this, just getting it ahead of time, having that information.
It's invaluable. It really is.
I also would think it would be good for cats that we know are, like the cat's got cancer and we're watching and waiting for that time when the quality of life is diminishing. Would that not give me that insight?
Yeah, it would give you the insight that there's a reduction. I think your vet would need to tell you what the indicators are of you'll see these changes. And when you see those changes, you become more mindful and more considerate to those changes. And consequently, the vet can advise you on what should I do when I see those changes, as opposed to absolute silence and then the moment.
Yes,
exactly. Exactly.
Okay. I need to put one on my peanut butter, my 19-pound cat, because I know he doesn't get enough. It's still way too much. I'd like to see that proven.
Well, I think a lot of people free feed kibble all the day. And when we ask the amount the cat is eating, they don't know.
They don't know.
Because the cat just goes and grazes and comes and goes. This would clear that up and let me know how much he's eating, right? I mean, not how many ounces,
not how much.
How much time he spent grazing. Yes.
Yeah. Well, the frequency has been grazing. We'll let you know, but how much it wouldn't know.
I need to know that about Peanut because I never see him eating the hard
That's
food.
what made me think
does.
about it. We've talked about it, and you're like, he doesn't eat that much. Of course, I don't know what he's doing. You always say we don't know what he's doing at night while I'm sleeping. Guess what? We could find out.
Oh my gosh, I want. I can't wait till this comes out. When we get them, will you come back on the show so we can talk about them?
Of course, I'd love to. I'd love to come back on the show
wonderful.
and hang out with you guys.
Yes, and we can go through what they mean and what our experience.
You have
apparently
a big cat right there.
I have a meeting of the black cats on my bed. There's like 3 out of 4 black cats.
And look at the big one. He needs more exercise.
That's Baka. She's large and in charge, and and she's a little elderly too. I keep telling her the arthritis is, typical for your age, and those pounds aren't helping, honey. But she told me to mind my.
How can people join the wait list, Ali?
Yeah, so we'll provide a link so you can access the waitlist, and there's also a waitlist link on the website. So they can basically subscribe, go to the waitlist. What this does is basically gets you onto early list because there's quite a few folks on the waitlist already. So we can communicate to them in terms of the launch time, the launch location, and so on. So everyone can just get involved. Perfect. Ultimately, what we're trying to do is build, a cat community, just cat cause driven company, which was building a community of people who, like-minded, have a similar cause, and hence why the blog is also there, right? So just to be able to provide advice, tips, recommendations. And we think that collectively, what would be really interesting and what we're trying to drive for is that collectively, with more and more data, this becomes more and more intelligent. And consequently, we could be able, hopefully over time, we'll be able to increase the longevity of cats' lives. So this is so we're super excited, and we're looking forward to having as many people involved in this project as possible.
This is so valuable. I cannot underrate. And it was written on your site, cats are our thing. And I wrote that down because I was like, and it's obvious. This isn't about this one product. This is about cats. And that's why we love you.
Exactly.
You're our people.
Exactly. We will be looking and joining the wait list. And as soon as we get them, we'll be letting you all know.
Oh, yeah.
How it goes.
Oh, yeah. Definitely be sharing all of it.
So any last words of wisdom for us, Ali?
Thanks a lot for having me. It's great to be hanging out with yourselves and be able to share this with a greater community, with your greater community, and really looking forward to be able to present you the products in the month of in spring. So please keep your eyes peeled.
We will. Believe me, we're very excited. We want it. We want it now.
Yeah, because we're spoiled like that, right?
I know,
Just like cats, right?
Exactly.
They
We're
always
cat
want everything
people.
now.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I don't know if I can pronounce your last name. Ali
Ganjavian.
Ganjavian.
Right?
That was
Did I get it?
close.
Was that right?
Perfect.
Yay.
That was amazing. We've been practicing.
I make little phonetic notes.
We'll provide the website and where people can learn more about Moggie.me, and Linda, as usual, my awesome co-host. Thank you so much for
My pleasure.
She adds the sparkle. I'm like, just the facts, ma'am. Linda's the sparkle.
That's why we're a good pair. Exactly.
And of course, I have to thank Mark Winter, who always makes us sound wonderful, even when we don't. And he gave us this spot on Pet Life Radio that we so appreciate. Thank you. And don't forget, everyone, every day is Catterday. We'll see you next time.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.